one is called Market Open. The clock on Trinity Church reads 5:05 a.m. I'm late for the Asian market close, so I have to cut through the graveyard, apologizing to the departed as I hop over their snow-covered graves. I cross Church Street, where the wind rips through my coat and the garbage does a dance with the snow, while a Con Ed tent glows warmly over a manhole with silhouetted workers sipping coffee inside. I have to run through the winter garden where Christmas music is playing and the police are waking a bum from a night of sleeping beneath the giant palms. In the elevator at Lehman Brothers, the clock reads 5:15. 45 minutes to call Asia, to record, copy, and distribute the market results to hundreds of traders, sales reps, and managers. At my desk, an Asian trader screams through the squawk box, "Where the fuck you be? I wait long time." This is the highlight of my day. Writing the results for him. Nikkei average cheery at +3, soybeans slothful at a 1-point rise, rough rice ratty at -6. My boss tells me to tone down the flowery descriptors. Wheat, hopeful at 48. The shoe shiners arrive at 5:45 and line their wooden boxes against the wall. The dry cleaner drops blue ribboned cartons on desks. The paper boy whacks newspapers against the office doors, the faces changing too often for anyone to remember. I load my cart with copies of my market manifesto and drop them one by one on rows of desks, 2 city blocks of desks in formation like a perfect mirage. Everyone gathers in the conference room for the morning meeting to review the market results. I take notes of munis, bonds, futures, until someone wants to know, what the hell does slothful soybeans mean? And how the hell could wheat be hopeful? So I say what they want me to say. Wheat's up, soybeans down. Somebody calls me a loose cannon, but the truth is, if it matters, I'm just trying to survive. Blackout. Waking up from a blackout is like recognizing that the man who walks the German Shepherd in my neighborhood, who hangs out at the corner bar, is the one I went home with last week. I salt my eggs to wake my taste buds and hold my showered head out the window in the cold, then breathe deeply to clean the smoke from my lungs. My boss has developed a fetish with the word bullish and uses it liberally. The market is bullish. Tiramisu is bullish. And when he thinks I'm out of earshot, she has bullish tits. No. The machines on the trading floor soothe the pounding in my head, and no one asks questions that aren't about money. Later, I'll make a coffee run and warm myself in the sun under the glass winter garden, a cathedral where all my sins are forgiven. The goddess of the trading floor. Again, I'm in the elevator with her. It's 5 a.m., just the two of us. Air whistles through the elevator shaft as we ascend into the sky onto the trading floor, where below, out the window, the Statue of Liberty is Barbie doll size, and the steel windows of the World Trade Center frame the clouds like black and white photos of spirits momentarily peering in at us before being whisked off by the wind. This is her Mount Olympus, the queen of currency, the first one in, up at 4 a.m., exercised, groomed, and fed, all the newspapers read, her attack planned. No one rivals her profits. She calculates in thin air every stock, trade, and blend. While the rest of the traders wrestle their calculators, she speed dials Capitol Hill, voice fucks politicians for info, exchanges from desk any worldly commodity. She scours the globe for net worth possibilities, eats them all by lunch. Earnings rule, she says. The dollar isn't almighty, I am. This goddess of the trading floor, denouncer of heaven and hell, just the here and now, the savage feeding of opportunities, of beating them to a pulp. I made the mistake once of saying good morning. Who are you, she asked. Floor tech, I answered. Floor tech, get my system up. Floor tech, get my coffee. Call the shoe shine to polish my shoes. I put her shoes out in the hall, the word Barcelona stamped onto the soles, these shoes that could pay my rent for months. I imagined stuffing them into my coat, pawning them down on Canal Street, buying a leather-bound notebook, an expensive pen to write with, in my tiny apartment where I struggled to find words night after night. I admire the goddess secretly, her impenetrable resolve, her guiltless living, her confidence. While I, 30 years old, roam the floor waiting for something to break, having arrived here by accident, a chance interview to pay the rent, still struggling to feel, to stay sober, lost, alone, up here among the clouds. Trader Ken. My sister drives a Mercedes, wears a mink coat, and carries a baseball bat in her trunk. So I know something about intimidation. When Trader Ken steps into the elevator, the one who jokes, women are good for nothing but holes, who walks as if he's a giant hard-on, who thinks his libido is part of his breeding, I watch the women in the mirrored doors size him up. He thinks he has their number. I'm not that pretty, so he has nothing on me. I fix his computer when it dies, replace the handsets he smashes. I get him back in business. He says, "You're all right, Welch." He calls me by my last name. They all do, like a label, a commodity, a disposable thing. Everything is disposable here on the trading floor. They send Trader Ken to sexual harassment classes. Ask him what he learned, he'll say, a new way to tell them what they want to hear. His boss says, don't take him personally, meaning he makes money for the company. I know intimidation. He doesn't intimidate me. At the Christmas party, he asks me to dance. He says, what are you doing in tech support? They're geeks. You belong with us. His charm is in his F-you attitude and the way he holds my arm gently on and off the dance floor. Although he talks in cliches, like the world is my oyster and you got it, baby. He smells good, is an excellent dancer, and his shirt feels like a thick hotel sheet cool against my cheek, where I linger much longer than I mean to. Janice. That day, inconceivably, my sister, who hadn't spoken to me in years, miraculously got through on my cell phone. Are you alive? She screamed, then ranted about President Bush blowing them all to smithereens. Out of the buildings, firemen came, their respirators sounding like gasping breaths, scraps of paper fluttering down everywhere, memos and trade sheets, photographs of someone's family beneath a shattered frame. Out of the cloud, more people came. Someone was holding my hand. A dog was vomiting in the curb. A severed foot cradled still in a black leather shoe lay next to a fence. Wait, someone might need that later. Surely the man falling would land safely on the tent below. The rattle in the ribs, the bloodshot eyes in dust-crusted faces, the crying of so many all at once. Yes, I said into the phone, I'm alive. Then that silence that was everywhere that day. Okay, well then, she said, and she hung up. And I'll end with layoffs. For weeks now, the faces of those I had to lay off, all 23 of them, have been appearing in the reflection of my computer screen where I sit trying to concentrate. My attention span down to milliseconds, sweating, patting my underarms dry, running out to the pantry for tea, loitering at the reception desk where the TV broadcasts more down profits, and mindlessly I eat the mints out of the candy dish until the receptionist politely reminds me the mints are for the guests sitting on the couch, who turn out to be my hallucination of all those I've laid off, but now with mutations. Pinky fingers protruding out of shoulders, ears where their eyes should be, so I run to the copier and bang on it for relief. No one thinks twice because everyone abuses that copier. I eat all the potato chips out of the vending machine, pee a lot, and get caught cursing out loud in the bathroom. I rub this spot that keeps appearing on my glasses. I'm certain I'm going deaf. I see people's lips moving in meetings, but I can't hear what they're saying. I count my gray hairs in the bathroom mirror, compare my face to my ID photo of 10 years ago, and ask, where have you gone? When my secretary comes in to discuss sundry items, I stutter, until it sounds like a heartbeat. I ask, do you hear that? That faint thud that turns out to be another bird flying into my office window, landing injured on my windowsill. I can't help the poor thing because the windows don't open, so I have to watch it die. When I realize I'm having some kind of anxiety attack, go to an AA meeting and feel worse, stop into Trinity Church where I light 23 candles for all those I had to lay off. My mentor says it isn't personal. How is that even possible? Meanwhile, the birds keep flying into my office window, frantically fluttering with a broken wing, jittering right off the windowsill, spiraling down 14 stories. And when I leave at night, I look for them on the sidewalk, but they're already gone. Thank you.